Have you ever left an interview, gone out, got into your car, turned it on, and sat there thinking, I'm gonna get this job. I'm the perfect candidate. I meet the qualifications exactly. The job is good as mine. And then a couple days go past, and a week goes past, and 2 weeks go past, and you realize you are not going to get that job. It's actually one of the most common questions I get from people is, Ben, how come I was the perfect candidate for the role and I didn't get the job? And there are a lot of reasons outside of your control. But there are also a few things that are in your control that people get wrong frequently. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about 3 different things in which balance is really important. And if you go a little bit one way or a little bit the other, it could be the difference between you getting a job and not getting a job. Let's go. Hi everybody, I'm Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 12 years experience in interviewing, hiring, and recruiting, and I'm passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible and land your next job. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about balance and 3 different topics in which you, as a candidate, need to demonstrate balance, otherwise it could adversely impact your ability to land a job. But before we get into the main topic of the video, do me a quick favor. If you are new here, take 3 seconds, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss one of the 3 free weekly videos that are all designed to help you become the best candidate possible. And if you were not new, welcome back. I hope you had an amazing weekend. Let's get into the video. Now, the first thing I want you to focus on when you're interviewing is the balance between leaving a job and running towards the new job. One of the mistakes people make all the time is they get asked questions like, what has you interested in our role? Or why are you leaving your current role? And what they do is they focus too much on the past and not enough on the future. Now, if they ask you a question like, Ben, why are you interested in leaving your current company? You can't ignore that. You can't just go forward and go, well, I'm really interested in your company because A, B, and C, because what you just did there was you avoided their question. And nobody likes that. However, what you need to do is you need to demonstrate balance. You need to show them, well, you know, my current job, there's not enough room for advancement, or I don't get to work with this technology, or because of this thing, which can't be overly negative, I'm looking to leave. Which is part of the reason I'm so interested in your organization. When I read the job description, what I saw was A, B, and C. Couple that with your reputation in the industry and what you mean as a company, it really had me interested in pursuing your opportunity. Just remember, it's really important that they walk away thinking Ben is coming towards something, not running away from something. Another big mistake that people make, and they make it unwillingly, and they don't do it on purpose, and they kind of fall into this trap, is they're asked an interview question like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Or what do you see yourself doing in the future? Or something like that. And they focus on the job after the job they're interviewing for, right? So they don't just focus on moving into their next role, but they're so enthusiastic, they're so over the top about that next role. Maybe they're interviewing for a senior role and they talk about how excited they are to manage people and they want to move into that management role. And this one's frustrating, especially for job seekers, because what you're probably thinking is, well, Ben, I answered their question. They asked me a question about where I wanted to be in 5 years. I told them, and you're telling me that's what's gonna get me ruled out? And the cruel, harsh, stupid reality of interviewing sometimes is what the hiring manager hears is, oh, they don't want this job. They don't think, well, I asked them a question that basically teed them up to talk about what's next. They think, wow, Ben was really enthusiastic about the job after my job. I don't think he really wants that one. He's probably going to be a flight risk. He's someone going to leave before I have the ability to train him and get ROI from investing in this person. So one of the things you want to be doing when someone asks you a question like, where do you want to be in 5 years? I would focus on not necessarily the role, but the skills you are hoping to acquire and how you plan on developing as a person. And I would also probably restate your interest in this role. Be like, you know, this role is something I'm incredibly interested in. I'm really excited about the opportunity to use A, B, and C technologies. And I think over the next 5 years, what I really want to focus on doing is rounding out my skills and becoming more technically adept in these areas, which I think I'll get to do through this opportunity. Something like that. Just, it's important to remember that sometimes people interviewing you are going to ask you questions that will allow you to say stuff that will get you ruled out for the opportunity. It's so key to balance here. If you show too much enthusiasm for what's next, and it sounds like you're just jumping over the next opportunity, a lot of times they're gonna think you're not interested in their role. Now the last one's an easy one, and I've gotten a lot of pushback on this where people said, Ben, that's an unreasonable take. And my opinion has not changed because it's the reality. And the last one is asking questions. I know it's really important to ask questions. I've said that over and over again. If you go into an interview, you need to have 10 questions to ask them. Dynamic questions, questions about the role, about the organization, not the smaller questions about benefits and stuff like that. And the balance here is that you absolutely deserve to ask about benefits and the things that are going to impact you. But the balance is you need to ask a decent amount of questions about the job, about the role, about the organization, about the vision for the team before you even get into those questions about salary, about benefits, about time off, about the equipment you'll be given to do the job. Now, I know some people have said, well, Ben, that's my question. I should be able to ask that. Sure. But from a competitive standpoint, if you are interviewing for a role and they say, okay, Ben, do you have any questions? And you immediately ask, okay, so how many weeks of vacation do I get? How soon can I take my first vacation? Can I take half days? Okay, instead of asking questions about the role and things specific to the performance of the role, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The hiring manager is going to go, wow, I gave them the opportunity to ask me anything they wanted and it was all about them. It was nothing about the role. I can guarantee some of you are watching this and disagreeing with me, and that's okay. But I want to tell you that I have been in probably 100 meetings with hiring managers in the last 12 years where they said to me, you know, Ben, I think I'm going to pass on this candidate. And I go, why? And they go, well, Ben, I asked if they had any questions and all they cared about was the benefits. They didn't ask me anything about the role. They went straight to the benefits. Like it or not, if you do that, that is going to be perceived poorly. So the last thing I want you to have balance on is making sure that if you want to ask questions about benefits, which is totally okay, before you do that, ask a handful of questions about the actual role, the work you're going to be doing, the team you're going to be on, or the company. There you have it. Those are 3 things that candidates mistake. It's 3 mistakes that candidates make frequently. They're innocent enough, but the small little balance in these 3 different scenarios can be the complete difference between you getting a job and not getting a job. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.